Welcome to the Alex Cora Center for kids that the leagues I don't know. We're starting to do better. It I mean Kevin talked today. That's good. We're getting some life in our group.
Yeah,
I don't
once
know how
I think
many
once we hit All-Star break, it'll pick up.
yeah, maybe the competitiveness, right?
Yeah, because I have a feeling maybe by the end of this, when this next week starts, Paul might be in first place. So
He's winning big right now, right?
yes, and I know I'm losing to Keith, and I believe Testa was down as well, but I'm not sure.
Testa's down. Um yeah, so this is episode 7. Well, look at us building a routine.
Things are
We're
happening.
even if 3 people watch, believe us, things are happening.
Yeah,
We might have Adam join us. We might not. Um, some things to talk about. We'll talk about the league a little bit. Do you have anything, Mike, to kick us off? Or
an update on we talked about him a little bit last week. Jacob Misiorowski made his debut last week, went 5 no-hit innings, and then went out hurt. Started last night, 6 no-hit innings, gave up a 2-run home run. So started his career first 11 innings, no runs, 2 wins, 1 hit.
wow, and he's the Brewers.
Brewers, yep.
Who has him?
Big, I'm not sure. Big, lanky pitcher. Like, very, just looks intimidating on the mound.
Really?
Yeah. And he got, I believe in his first start, he had 14 swinging strikes in 5 innings. So,
Well, that's a new stat. Newer,
yeah.
I'll say, not
Yep.
new this year. But
Yeah.
that they'll say it out there. Actually, they'll say it in your fantasy read up on the guy.
Yeah.
The pitcher will be like 15 swinging strikes, and when you think about it, you never thought about it.
Hmm.
And this is the agenda setting theory. They tell us what to think, but it's actually a good thought.
Yep.
You have a pitcher that makes people miss. Of course, you want to count those strikes. They're different than looking. So
Yep.
interesting stat.
Yeah, there's that, and then they also just do straight swinging strike percentage. So percentage of their strikes that were swinging strikes. So I know there's another pitcher that uh, it just came back for the Dod. Emmett Sheehan just came back for the Dodgers, and he was hasn't pitched I don't think since 2023, and he had in the minors a 19% swinging strike rate, which is would be in the majors. It would be the best of all time. So if he can continue that when he's back now, so.
Is that right?
Yeah, so
19%?
I think he was the closest to that in the majors was Strider when he had his best season, and that was 17%.
Doesn't that sound low? I mean, just
It does,
without,
but if you figure a guy throws 100 pitches and 60 something strikes, if you get 20% of them swinging strikes, you're gonna have a lot of strikeouts.
true, right? So 20 out of, yeah, it 20% is high. Yeah, I guess, but it just seems so. I'm trying to think, actually, you'll like this reference, like Johan Santana.
Yep.
When he was on, he would catch people looking with that changeup.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, I guess he'd get people swinging too, but it just when you get someone looking, it's a little bit different than swinging. I
Yeah.
don't know what means more. It's the same thing, but
Yeah, I think the swinging strike more shows how much how like hittable your pitches might look, but they're not. Like you because you have guys swinging at pitches that aren't even close to strikes. More is like the looking, it just shows you're better location wise.
and it moves, right? So it could be
That's
like a
yeah.
two-seamer
Yep.
where
That's
you
like Paul Skeens. He has essentially 7 pitches.
mhm,
And
and you're
all of his pitches he can throw outside the strike zone and get strikeouts.
and you're guessing essentially.
Yep.
Um, I'll touch on Austin Riley a little bit, but they were saying in one of the broadcasts that he's just guessing up there, and that's never a good situation, I'm assuming.
Hmm.
Although a lot of Major League Baseball, with the way pitchers throw now, you would assume it's a lot of guessing.
It looks like that. Like for instance, I watched the Mets Phillies game last night, and to start the game against Wheeler, the Mets just straight up were not swinging at breaking balls, any breaking balls, and they were trying and any fastball close they were going after. And then Wheeler started locating his pitches, and they just had nothing.
Did he only go 5?
He went five, but he had the first two innings bases loaded and got out of it. And then they gave up the runs after he came out.
He's always like, so he's either dominant, but he never gives up the runs. I mean,
No, he if he can get through the first and second without a big inning, he's pretty much cruises late into every game.
he so when Ludo like this one, referencing the last two playoff exits for the Braves against the Phillies, Wheeler was actually their number two starter after Nola, the way it lined up. So the Phillies would win game one or in game two, and then Wheeler would maybe come in game three, the way it lane, Suarez was
Hmm.
pitching game two. So the Braves are always down, and then they'd have to face Wheeler, and you'd think, shit, we have to face Wheeler and a must-win game. But
Hmm.
somehow they'd get to him late. Now, I don't know if it's a stat out there that shows Wheeler third time through the order
That's
because he
what I
was
think
always
it
late.
is.
It was
Yep.
always late runs, and it was barely a run. It would be like he walks a guy, or there's an error. That guy gets to second or third. Then there's like a little infield hit. It's never three-run bomb off Wheeler.
Yeah, that was the thing. He was only at 94 pitches in the fifth inning, so I think it was a thing like let's not. And it was Alonso to lead off the six, who did end up homering there, but not against Wheeler.
Okay, he's on fire. Alonso. I mean, he didn't do this little down. What do we call it?
Skid.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
tried to make a joke. I never heard of an MLB team losing seven games, but the Braves have done it twice this year. That was my,
yeah.
but
I knew where you were going with that.
yeah, trying to
Yeah,
dig that hole. But the Alonso's numbers, watching the Braves Mets series, every time they flash his numbers up, it's ridiculous.
yeah.
I can't believe
He's
he's
le-
having this year after what he did last year.
yeah, he's leading the league in RBIs, I believe. He's right now he's 8 home runs behind Strawberry for the Mets all time home run record.
Wow.
Yep.
So Strawberry's winning that, David Wright.
He just passed David Wright last week.
Yeah, Alonso, he's putting up Carlos Delgado numbers with the RBIs. You remember that one year?
Yes.
Was it a Met? Was he a Met or a Blue
He
Jay?
might have been or a Marlin.
When he put up like
Yeah.
almost 90 before the All-Star break?
Hmm.
Um, like to see Alonso. So how many more games until the All-Star break, roughly?
What is it? Second week of July
I think
normally.
it's the 14th or 12th is the 13th or 12th.
So we have three, like 2 weeks, 2+ weeks.
So maybe what do we got? 13 games. You can
Hmm.
maybe
He could get that.
get up to 80-ish
Yeah.
because he's at 60 something,
Yeah,
65.
he could get to that and break the. I mean, he'd have to get pretty hot to break Strawberry before the All Star break, but they
I'd
need it.
assume the Mets are going to turn it on here in a little while. They can't just keep doing this. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
that's
so good.
their top of the order has been abysmal, and that's what's been killing them. I think Lindor, Soto, and Alonso batted 170 in the Brave series combined.
Well, yeah. I think Lindor didn't have a hit,
Yeah,
but Soto still is like the scariest hitter. I was
yeah,
watching with Christina's father, who's a Mets fan. He's not a Soto fan, but he just doesn't like all that new age stare downs
yeah,
and shit. But like he hit a single off Strider, I think, and just stared him down the whole way. Now I don't know if Strider was looking back. They didn't show that angle. I don't think he was. That's just what he does. But
yeah,
I don't want to talk about this every pod, but it's just he just keeps doing it.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's so back to the swinging strike. If you look at it from a batting perspective, do they have a stat for like a hitter that sees more
Uh,
strikes as opposed to swings at strikes?
they have all kinds of stats. I know. Well, there's like expected batting average is one too. Like what the analytics say your batting average should be, depending on like how your launch angle and exit velocity and all that. But that shit gets kind of really gets out in the weeds there.
It's the second graph
Yeah,
on Baseball Reference. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
It's basically the meme from Moneyball. Like if he's a good hitter, why doesn't he get good?
yeah,
You know?
I like that. Hey, Adam, welcome.
Should I be outside?
You didn't get the memo?
Mike said this looks like Windows XP or whatever. What was that?
Gateway
Yeah.
95.
Um, but then I brought up that it's actually Greg's house. Adam knows about Greg,
Never met Greg, but I know about him.
the scary guy
I
next
feel
door.
I feel like I know him.
Yeah, we he knows you. Uh, we were walking Christina and I the other day, and then his garage started to come up, and we immediately went and walked the other way before he could come out because the conversations are just not what you want. Anyway, Adam, we're talking about swinging strikes and swinging strike percentage from a pitching standpoint. Mike had mentioned that Sheehan, this new Dodger pitcher that just came back off the IL, has a 19% swinging strike percentage in the minors,
Yep.
which would be the best ever if brought into the majors, which is so my thought was, wow, that's crazy to think 19% swinging strike is the highest ever. But I guess we were trying to talk about it, how it shows not 20% of your strikes thrown are swinging strikes. That's pretty good when you think about it like that. But I still feel like it's we were trying to debate like what's if you get a strike, called strike versus swinging strike, what's more important for a pitcher? And then we were just flipping it. Is there a stat for a batter? Like I'm gonna keep hitting on him. Austin Riley has a lot of swinging strikes. So like from a batting perspective, is there a stat out there? We'll have to I'll look this up that shows that you have more swinging strikes as a batter. Is that worse? Are you seeing it worse if you're just letting pitches go by and they're getting called strikes?
Yeah, I think they have
Yeah,
a thing called chase rate. So which that's essentially like how much do you chase outside the zone. So that would
Okay.
maybe be a similar one for a hitter. So like, what are you swinging at strike wise that isn't a strike?
I
Just
don't know. From a
just
pitcher's perspective, I feel like I'd want swinging strikes. Like there's guys like George Kirby and there's guys like who's the guy on the Logan Webb. They just like throw strikes.
Hmm.
And so like that's a great pitcher, right? And you can normally minimize like how many pitches you throw, but at the same time, like you're opening yourself up to a really bad outing. So like a swinging strike would be great as a pitcher, and like I love when John Boy or other guys show like how the pitch looks the exact same and then it dips the last second.
Yeah.
And that's, like to what Mike's point, the chase rate. But then to your point about Austin Riley, like barrel rate's another thing that they take into exception too. So does that have anything to play?
he had a home run last night late. He's becoming like my kids now know that dad doesn't like when Austin Riley comes up. And it's always with runners on base. Like he grounded out. It would have been a double play. It was like, yeah, first and second, nobody out. Austin Riley's up first inning, and then he grounds to short. He beats it out at first. It was challenged. He was safe, but it was like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you? This is just what's happening every time he's up, and then he just lazy flies on the first pitch to right field. It's like not even giving it a chance. You're not, and then he hits a home run late. Somehow gets his OPS a little higher, and like Rich, I was telling you, Rich was watching the Mets Braves series with me, and I was bitching about Austin Riley. Seems to be what I do, and then he was like, look at his numbers. They're fine. 275, 11 homers,
Yeah.
780 OPS. And I'm like, dude, that happened like in a week.
Yeah.
And he's just been stagnant or here or there. He'll get like two singles.
Also just what you've not come to expect from a guy like that.
Right.
Like that's
Uh,
why I was so glad to get Julio Rodriguez off my team because I'm sick of hearing how he's the next best thing and then he strikes out more than anybody known to man. It was like, you take him.
Yeah.
well, I have him. And he's actually better this year. He's not K'ing as much, but he's not the next best thing. You see those commercials on MLB .TV where it's like highlighting a team and it's the Mariners. They're like Julio Rodriguez is a superstar, and then I'm like and then they'll say like in center field, and I'm like, okay, they did it right. They finished this. He's a good fielder, yeah.
I know,
Um,
not like, yeah, they have Cal Raleigh and they still act like Rodriguez is the guy.
Cal Raleigh. I mean, I did not know what I was getting when I drafted him. Adam, I asked you to look at his line, and I didn't realize you had the pitcher against Cal Raleigh yesterday. I didn't. That was not a point. I didn't mean that. First off, did you see Boyd make that catch?
Yes.
There was a line
I
drive
wanted to
back,
talk
and
about
what?
that. Did you see his dad?
Oh, I can't hear you. Sorry. What?
Sorry, I just lagged out. Did you see his dad after the catch?
No.
Yes.
Just screaming "fuck yeah" at the camera.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Just looking around for high fives.
Yeah.
I mean, he was dead if he didn't catch that.
Yeah, then he left the game with a bruise on his shoulder.
Ah,
5 innings, 2 hits.
but Cal Raleigh's line, what I asked you to look at was just because he's a catcher
Stole a base.
and he had 4 runs. Like, what the?
Oh
It's
my
just
God.
crazy. His numbers every time I'm like, oh, good, no one else hit. But then Cal Raleigh makes up for it.
Yeah, he just broke Johnny Bench's record for home runs by a catcher before the All-Star break.
And there's still like a month, or at least like
Yeah,
3 weeks
Yeah.
till the
Yeah.
All-Star break.
we were just saying because we were hitting on Pete Alonso's RBI total. We were saying it's pushing those Delgado numbers that one year when he almost had 90 or something before the All-Star break. And we were trying to calculate how many games before the All-Star break because can he do it? Um, Mike, you wanted to talk. Let's talk Padres Dodgers.
Yeah.
Um, Set the scene. I don't know who got hit first because I Pajes on the Dodgers.
Yep.
I don't know if it
Uh,
was something from a previous series with Tatis that started this.
I'm not sure. I
That
know it was Tatis was when Tatis got hit. It was like the one that popped off the big brawl, essentially, or the scuffle. And but he was hit, I think, 4 times in 5 games against the Dodgers or something like that. And it looked like the one that everybody freaked out about. I honestly don't think they were trying to hit him, but the coach was just kind of like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you just can't hit this guy right now,
Right.
like, um,
Is that
and
Mike
then
Schilt?
that is
I
so
like
Mike
saying that.
Schilt freaked out, and then I think Roberts and him got into a little bit of a shoving match about it.
Belly bump.
And then late in the game, in the ninth, I believe Otani got hit and waved the Dodgers off, like waved everybody off, like we're fine, we're fine. Shook Luis Ariza's hand at second base, and then walked over to the Padres dugout by himself and had a word with them, and they basically gave him like, yeah, all right, our bad.
Is he Jesus? That's what I wanted to send in the text.
I'm a Mets fan, but Otani is my favorite player in baseball. I fucking love that guy.
He's so good. He got hit with a 100
so
mile
easy to
an hour.
root for.
Suarez hit him with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Hmm.
Got suspended 3 games. Otani's just so easy to root for, even if he
And now
did
he's
cheat.
back. He's back pitching now, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that game that he came back, he started, he gave up a run. Do you think how much advertising marketing were there like Otani's game's back? Did they upcharge those tickets? And then he pitched an inning.
I'm sure they did. Yeah,
But it was
they
just funny.
definitely
He
marketed as
pitches.
that.
He had a good, I mean, it was not a good inning. He threw like 30 pitches, but then he comes right up to hit. It's fun to watch that.
Yeah,
He's leading off.
it's going to be interesting in the playoffs how they deploy him as a pitcher.
He'd be good. I wonder if they'll transition him. Maybe in a couple years, he'll be their closer.
Yeah, because he
I
he
thought
kind
about
of
that.
did that for Japan in the World Baseball Classic.
Oh yeah, I remember Mike Trout, the most unclutch. Did I mention Austin Riley? Mike Trout versus Austin Riley, unclutch players. But okay, so is it over between the Padres and Dodgers?
I doubt
Doubtful.
it.
Otani try. I swear, like when you were texting about this, we got to talk about it. I watched the Otani, and like you said, he went over to the Padres. I feel like he wasn't. He was like Jesus, just floating
Yeah,
to the dugout to first base. It's all okay, everyone. He's a good person for MLB, good person for like your kids to look up to when you're watching and seeing. So I don't want to go into it yet, but I do want to talk about I went to an 8U All-Star game last night, and I want to talk about that a little. But having Otani, and you almost want to put kids and even the coaches in front of that to teach sportsmanship.
Hmm.
I think we have veered the wrong way um, with this whole youth development thing. But um, I'm glad Otani's in the league. I think more players should maybe Dodger players saw him do that and said maybe that's how we should act. Although I would say Freddie and Mookie would be similar.
That's the thing. The Dodgers are not like a hateable team. Like S,
Yeah.
we hate them because they're awesome, but their players are phenomenal. Like they have the top of their order is three probably Hall of Famers, you know,
And then
and
Teoscar, who's just awesome.
and they play the game the right way.
The only one that you'd hate is like Max Muncy, but he's not who he used to be against Bumgarner. He's
Well,
quieter.
he couldn't see, and now he has glasses, so he's awesome.
Yeah, you picked him up,
Maybe
man?
he's
Uh-oh. It's
Yeah, dropped Junior Caminero, and then I went with Muncie as my backup.
Is Caminero the one that Testa keeps texting you about?
Yeah, automatic updates.
I thought your lights were flickering. Otani was touching down.
They are flickering. It's like a weird thing in this room, but I don't know. It's funny to hear Mike say that like Otani is like easy to root for and like such a great uptick for the sport, but then like I would just like to translate that argument to a guy like LeBron who has literally done nothing wrong in his life. He's like a flopper, which I guess you could, and like he's got an ego, but like okay, put those aside. Like he literally does everything right, feeds back to the community and to the game.
yeah,
Still dominating 20 years later. Like never hear his name in news unless it's good news. But he gets so much more hate, you know?
yeah, I agree. I mean, seems to be like dad of the year every year.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I used to be, you know, obviously being a Celtics fan, I
Yeah.
was not a LeBron fan and grew up as a Jordan kid. But what he's done and the longevity, and he's been a class act the whole time he's been in the league. It is crazy that the hate that he gets for sure.
You really have to bend over backwards to find reasons to hate him. How do you expect somebody that was in high school? Think back to when you were in high school, junior year, and you have people coming up to you telling you you're the next Michael Jordan, you're on Sports Illustrated. Every high school game you're in is televised on ESPN. How do you expect him not to have some type of ego? He's had to, the decision was wrong to do it that way, but
Sure.
Yep.
these are mistakes. But I feel like the other things outweigh his mistakes. Him bringing his son onto the Lakers, affecting that draft. Again, if you had that chance and it was your son, would you do the same thing? I like that there were some people that talked about that, and I'm with you. I'm a LeBron guy.
Yeah, it's just funny because like I used to hate Kobe, and then
Kobe who?
you just you finally like got to the point where you're like, all right, man, like allegations aside, old number aside, 45 shots a game aside, like you can't, this guy is like so talented. You got to just root for him while you can.
Kobe fits into that Tiger Woods bucket
Yeah.
where off the field, off the court, he's kind of a shithead. Um,
Marcelo Zuna from the Braves.
well, I think a tier lower would be Marcelo Zuna, yeah. But you're right. I mean, just you root for them on the court. Kobe was lethal on the court, fun to root for, but he also, I think, raped somebody, right? Didn't he?
I don't
Maybe.
know.
I think he did. But you're right. So then like Tiger with the whole shit off the course. I mean, his wife attacking with the golf club, breaking his windows. These are things that, when you're teaching your kids, these are things you wouldn't say, I guess. But um all right, let's steer it back. Any other baseball? We're over the Dodgers, Padres. Anything else you have stat wise, Mike? Or
No, that was pretty much it. I did want to point out, which was brought up in the group chat for the league, the very cool play in the Phillies Mets game last night with Real Muto sliding directly behind Castellanos, very much
Yeah.
like in Major League,
oh yeah,
but it just shows how fucking slow Castellanos is.
Yeah, Muta's pretty fast too. I'm
Yeah,
surprised he didn't catch him.
What did Castellanos do to sit? Do we know what he said?
I
He
don't
said
know.
something to Thompson
Okay.
that went too. He said Thompson said he crossed the line and that they already handled it. But I
Yeah,
like I kind of like I don't like Castellanos, so like, and he probably has a mouth on him, right? Like you know he does. Said something to irk Thompson, but at the same time, it's like it goes back. I keep switching sports, but it goes back to that Bob McAdoo's choice to bench Eli when he was had that like string of like 12 seasons of starts.
mm,
And like Castellanos, same thing. It like hadn't
yeah,
sat a game since like 2021 or something. And it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Like you're
Lesson
playing
learned.
160 games a year. This guy prides himself on playing 160 games a year. Like, did the emotions get the best of him? Sure. Like, you're really going to take that away from him? You can't just like put him ninth in the order and give him an at bat or give him a start in right field and then bench him.
yeah.
Yeah, that was probably short-sighted. It's like when your child acts up. It was like a reaction just to take something away that means something to them.
Do we know? So
Which
Thompson knew he knew obviously that he had that streak going beforehand, or did he not comment on that?
I didn't hear anything on that. You just would think that you have a whole day before you truly make that decision, and
Yeah,
then like talk to the other players, so you could have gotten buy-in from the other guys in the clubhouse.
Even
But
other
also like
coach.
they've been trying to shop him for a while. Like they gave him a horrible deal, and they've been trying to shop him every season. So it's like you shouldn't be on your team. Like you shouldn't be in that position anyway, if you really think about it.
yeah.
He's speaking of a clutch hitter, he's a clutch hitter, but he's not like consistently good, I would say. He's fine, but he's
He's scary when it's like when it matters.
yeah, exactly. Like Braves, I already mentioned this, the Braves playoffs, he was the one that kind of got those rallies going for the Phillies. I mean, um, but if he comes up regular, he's not really, I'm not afraid of him like first inning, but late in the game. Adam, anything you want to talk about?
Did you? I might have missed the Mizrowski talk already, but did anyone
Yeah, we
happen to
did.
see the home run that like even the hitter was like, nah, and then it somehow just went over the fence?
I did
Oh,
not.
really?
Even the announcer was like, that launch angle must have been like a 40-degree launch angle. Like he just kind of like he's early on it, and it looks like he hits it and hooks it into right field, and he's like Chris Farley just watching it.
Yeah.
And so it just lands over the right field, and then Mizrowski's like, no, all right, great. Like it went from perfect game, walk, home run, Dave's text somewhere in the middle there,
Yeah,
and then get out.
I like that Chris Farley reference, the coffee crystals. What did you say?
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, we only have like 10 minutes here. Anything else? Do you want to go through this week's scoreboard? Do you want to talk about standings? What should we do? I want to talk about, I need a first baseman. Torkelson is, anyone want to trade me?
I just
Mike
got Matt
Astor
Olson.
eight.
What?
I have Matt Olson.
Could this, okay, so we've had a week since we talked about this. Matt Olson's like the hottest hitter in the league. And have we heard of this other pitcher, Mick Abel? Has anyone heard of him? Where is he?
He's pitching tonight
Okay, I
against
Going
can't
tonight.
Mets.
I can't wait to watch him. There's the Mets. They're breaking the streak tonight.
God, I
Well,
hope
the Mets
so.
got, yeah, sorry, Mike. They got destroyed last night all week, really, but tonight's the night. And it's going to be Mick Abel,
It's so funny it's
1.2
against Mick
innings.
Abel.
Yeah,
Um,
Dave, what's your 8U story?
okay, so I went to an all-star game, 8U. I'm getting texts now from the dad. We have two kids from our team that we nominated for all-stars. They made the team and they're playing in like a neighboring town. And it's been like I wanted to get out there and support. I brought the kids last night. It was a 5 o'clock game in Swansboro. We get there. First off, first thing you notice is everyone's hitting. It's a lot different from our league regular season where no one's hitting. Um, but it's just constantly hitting. But the coach. That's the I wanted to highlight just the what's the
Gary
word?
Conk shorts.
What's that?
Gary Conk shorts.
No, so I'm standing with the guy, my old assistant coach, who I probably bitched to you guys about, who was a little too much for me. He's there, of course, and we're talking, and he's like, "Isn't it funny? They're all wearing baseball pants." And I look, we have five. There's five coaches on Western Carteret, which is our team, and then we're playing New Bern. All the coaches are wearing jerseys tucked into baseball pants. This
Oh,
was
geez.
not.
You said we're fucked.
Yeah, they're serious here. We didn't do that regular season. Um, who was like, you know what? Coaches and all-stars have to, do they have them just lying around? They were white. You had to like go out and buy white baseball pants to wear for this weekend. You bought
Yeah,
these
those are
pants for a
$40.
weekend. You're 40 plus.
The Dave, they didn't just buy them.
They've been waiting for this moment.
They got a few pairs. Yeah.
I'm the only coach from the regular season that's not helping in this. So
Yeah.
you have five men
You need to
wearing
come
base.
in like a Chipper Jones fitting uniform.
They have like the
Exactly.
power balance
Yeah.
necklaces.
They're
Put
Eye
a
just,
lip
black,
in.
I can't stress how hard it is to watch
intimidated.
from like that
Oh,
perspective. You're just kind of like, what the hell are we doing here? Where these guys are dressed up like this. There's kids that don't know what's happening. You have a play at the plate, and the coach is screaming at the catcher, who's 7, that he has to catch everything and then tag the runner. They don't know what's happening. You don't know this kid's tagging up. One, how do you tag up in 8U? I actually had a kid slide and catch the ball, which I was like, he was on our team, Leo, and I'm like, holy shit, he caught it. Literal sliding catch. He didn't do that in the regular season, so it's like really great. But he didn't know where to throw it. Like he had the ball. The coach is screaming at him to throw it, which I get. You're competitive, you want to yell, but like the kids are running. So like he made the catch, and then they all you do in this league is this. Just keep running until the ball gets to the pitcher, and the pitcher has to
yeah.
catch it. Which again, I hate this rule. Like they're 7. They can't catch that well. So
Yeah.
you have,
The pitcher poison.
yeah, until the pitcher holds the ball, you can that's where you have to stop running. But like this kid made this awesome catch, and then 2 runs scored, one from second and third because the coach sent them, and he threw it in, it got bobbled. And I feel like we've lost the sight of what baseball is when you're just trying to, I get it, you want to win, it's all stars, but like these kids aren't learning the game by, you made a great catch, you should be like, awesome catch.
Yeah.
You're 7. You're going into second grade and you're getting yelled at because you made a catch. Like I just can't get over that. Like his mom was texting me, no big deal, just thanking me for coming out, but like it boosted his confidence seeing his coach come support him. I'm not
Hmm.
blowing myself, but like that's what we're dealing with. You have a kid that's happy to see someone he knows coming out to root for him,
Yeah,
but you
that's
have coaches screaming at him. And I
yeah, they're there to like work on their skills at that age, you know? Like that's it. Just work on like hand eye and all that shit. Like and how the game is played and the rules. Like,
and
Why
make
are
a
there even all-stars?
exactly. Why are you having
yeah,
all stars?
seriously. Yep.
I'm louder now. My neighbors can hear me bitching about this, but
I can see Greg in the background.
They're like Greg's like Dave's on his fucking soapbox again.
oh, the 8U coach again. Um, very hard to watch. They ended up losing. It was close. I have that one dad's texting me now score updates.
Oh my god.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, they have to, okay, here's the last part. They have to, so they lost last night. They're in the losers bracket now. It's set up like that College World Series bracket where you have to win. It's double elimination. 8U. You have a game at 10 a.m. If you win that game, you then have to play that team that's undefeated, and you have to beat them twice now. So these kids, my team, our team, has to play 3 games to win it all today. It's
Jesus Christ.
95 degrees today. What are we doing?
School just let out like a week, 2 weeks maybe. It's like go enjoy summer. Don't
It's that
spend
South Park
your
episode.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Yeah, the kids are like, "Can we lose, please?" They're pitching
Um,
to contact. Yeah.
Tom has same stories. Tom, his son Henry, was in I think 7U, 8U All Stars, and he said, "I'm just." He texted me like a few times. These coaches are just sending. That's all they care about, sending these runners. They're not learning.
Yeah.
You're not learning like, oh, the ground ball shortstop has it, but I'm still going to run the second. No, you're not. Not in
They probably
baseball.
watch a baseball game on TV and they're like, "What's happening?
Yeah, why isn't he running?
Yeah, what's going on? This is not the same."
Um, anyway, I'll stop. But that was something I want to ask. Are you guys going to the game today?
I'm not.
Still TBD.
Ooh,
Day to day. I woke up
TBD.
a little sore, slept wrong on the shoulder. So
they might need you.
yeah, after Mick Abel.
Yes. Yes. Um, but last night Tom went to the game. Tom there he sent me a picture with his kids
Yep.
in Phillies gear, which kind of sad. I didn't realize he'd be raising them as Philly fans. So I don't know what's
I
the
hate
dark
those
side.
uniforms.
What's the dark side? The Yankees or the Phillies? I can't. I mean, what were we rooting for with Tom's kids? I don't know. But
Yeah.
um, 2 minutes left. Any other discussion? Send a picture if you go to the game, Adam. Send a picture.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to work on a visual, but I can't seem to find it. I'm a real big whore for Canva, if you guys know what Canva is.
Oh, I know Canva.
But I can't find a 3x3 grid for the life of me. But so the thing that I meant to text y'all about is I think we could, if we ever get better at this and we like can plan and like put something on the screen, we play tic-tac-toe. But imagine like immaculate grid where there's a different category on each axis.
Okay.
And then so say like just like in the first square, right? It's like stolen base and walks. And then like basically you have to pick somebody like maybe we each pick a player, but you have a 10-second shot clock or pick clock, whatever, right? But then like we each put a player and then like whoever has more stolen like whatever we deem is like the more valuable player there, they take that spot. But then like that player is now off the board. And we're like trying to play tic-tac-toe and still win, but like based on different categories in the columns. I thought that could be fun.
I love that idea.
That'd be
That's
fun.
awesome.
It would be fun to even play Immaculate on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that too.
But you get on that, create this visual next
I'm
week.
on it.
Hear that, all three listeners? We'll do
Gonna
it.
keep sending DMs to Talking Baseball. Maybe one of them will get back to me.
All right, we're under a minute. Thanks. This was fun. Adam, good luck if you go to the game.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah.
All right.
Let us know how the 8U finishes.
I will. Up to the minute
Send
next.
score updates.